right, good afternoon, Cyber Traders. Welcome on back here this Tuesday, June 7th, post-Traders Talk edition of our afternoon meeting. Great to see James and Brian and so Mark just before Petros and all of us live inside the Cyber Group room. Great to see you all. Great to see all of us joining us back on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Are we not having fun, folks? Are you not entertained? This Jan stock right now just made a huge pop. I mean, it took long enough, honestly. But, I mean, this is just the next big pop and runner that we've caught today live inside the Cyber Group room. So without further ado, folks, let's hop right into it. We're actually watching the AERC stock also as that's beginning to reopen up off of a halt. But Jan right now, I mean, finally, it just made a big pop. But, you know, the big level that we were focused on from earlier today, and we talked about this inside our Traders Talk workshop earlier today, it was right off 350. Now, to be transparent, this exact pop was really surprising. I was not expecting the pop right then and there. You know, it is to say, if it's not going to tank from the level, if it's not going to break under 350 and freaking tank, maybe there is a chance. That's the one thing I could tell you. But I wasn't expecting this right here, right then. And, you know, for right now, hopefully there's a lot more opportunity left on this Jan trade here heading into the close. What is the second day in a row? I don't have a pen. There we go. A lot easier this time. All right. So JAN at least we'll have on the watch list to begin. But the other one, and the one that we've had our eyes on, you know, a hell of a lot more compared to this, to be honest, the AERC trade, right? Now, let me ask, is anybody currently in this AERC trade right now? If you are, I don't want to distract you. Honestly, you probably shouldn't be in it right now. It's not really the best time to be in it. I'm asking out of curiosity because you might have a couple of us that were still holding on from much, much, much earlier in the day. You know, if you had an entry off of 390 when I wrote to you in the trading room at 9:35 in the morning that is big support, yeah, you have a lot bigger of a leash to work with. So in that case, maybe. Or when this ended up breaking above resistance off of 437 or 438 exactly, that's when we were calling it out, you know, coming off of Traders Talk. Well, you know, hey, you have a little bit of cushion room there, right? Unless if you're in from there, I wouldn't look for you to just jump into this trade right now. I'm expecting this to pull back a little bit further towards 1025, 10-ish as support. The yellow lines on the screen for at least all of us live inside the trading room, at least all of my phase 2 students, those are the big opening halt prints when the stock got halted and reopened up. So namely at $8.51, $8.51, when this ended up reopening off of its first halt on the entire day, we had the opening print open 851. All right, well, that should be a pretty big level. Well, it was. It came down under it, back over it, and off and running she went. So, you know, for right now, I hope to see this actually pull back a little bit lower and then from there really explode into the close. You know, if I don't catch another runner on this one myself and it goes without me, I honestly can care less. You know, if you leave money on the table, folks, you know, unless if you only made like literally 5 cents or so, then I'd say I'm sure you took a good profit either way, given how much this stock ran altogether. So, you know, I'm sure I would have loved my shares back from 438 from earlier, but that was for a quick 60-cent or 70-cent profit at the time. It's like, geez, you don't know when this is going to pull back down. The only thing, though, that would lead you to hope for this stock to continue to push up throughout the day, and thankfully that's what we had here so far, and we talked about this in our Traders Talk earlier today. The stock has a lot of recovering to do. At one point, it went from 110 all the way down, you know, to like $2, right around 2 or under. You know, so from yesterday, this stock ran, and I was pretty, you know, interested in this one myself going into the open. Thankfully, it played out how I thought it could have, but that's not all how they work, right? So with this, it's just to say, thankfully, we were really early to the punch on this trade. It paid off, you know, in boatloads, right? So ended up making a huge squeeze here. It's actually holding support right now off of one of those halt prints, one of those yellow lines roughly off of 1127. So maybe it doesn't shake back down. Maybe I don't get that bigger pullback down to 10 or 1025 first. But, you know, we'll come back to this at least at the end of the meeting here. It already goes on the main list, you know, Jan and the AERC trade to start. All right, so folks, let's go right from top to bottom. Otherwise, got this stock here that's like below $1, so I'm just going to skip over it for right now. There's probably a lot better stocks to follow here heading into the close, and we haven't even talked about the market yet as a whole. The S&P, markets are grinding on up right now, but they're at the highs. So aside from just what we're covering across the gainers and losers here, I'm sure there could be a couple of good side list stocks to work with going into the end of the day. So ONCR right now, hey, this actually doesn't look half bad. It's trading about 13,000 shares per minute. Good spread, good volume on the book for right now. Um, it doesn't hurt us to put it on our list for right now. It's up enough, right? So you hope to see this make the bigger move heading into the close like the AERC already did. But, at least for right now, this makes the cut. AXDX, just want to check in with it quickly. Little move up, grinding on up across the afternoon. Bigger pop from the early part of the day, but yeah, nothing really too much happened here. Now, I did see some chat earlier. I didn't jump to the EFOI. I really haven't seen this chart at all up until right now. My first glimpse on this trade today. So it ended up making more of a pop going into the early to mid afternoon. Shortly prior to 1 o'clock Eastern, topped off around 220, and now it's making a bigger pop here. So for right now, I definitely like it. EFOI. Just taking a quick look on level 3. I don't have my level 4 open for this trade, but you could at least see it 250 right on the offer. 28 plus thousand share order on the ask. So you'd assume for 50-cent level to be resistance anyway, but that certainly confirms it, right? All right, what else we got here, folks? Let's kind of just skim through here at this point. I saw the AUVI. I guess it was a glitch from TradeStation. It was up like 1,000%. It's actually pretty nice looking here, grinding on up right now or from earlier, and it's making a pushback up here right now. So, you know what? I don't mind it. Looks good. Now, I would say for right now, though, just check on level 3 once more, and you could see an order on the ask right off of 169, 25 plus thousand shares. So, yeah, the AUVI for right now, looks good. Checks out nicely. The HUSA from earlier today. I don't know if this is going to be a sharp looking now. Looks all right. I mean, but this one from earlier today, I mean, AERC, and then really it was the HUSA stock, HUSA, ended up making a huge pop as soon as the market opened up. Very unassuming in pre-market. We wouldn't have assumed for this to have made the type of run that it made by looking at it in pre-market, just very flat, dead. But, hey, again, that's where we like to work together as a team. I think that one of our students, Norman, I think he had called this out first. If not Norman, I forget. So I want to give rightful credit to where it's due. But, we were on top of this early pretty quick, right? So I actually didn't get my hands on this. I was following the AERC more. So, ran without me. But a lot of our students in particular did really well on this one. It's still very lively right now. Doesn't hurt us to put this on the main watch list here for the afternoon. Brian first called it out there. There we go, Brian. Brian, you also shouted out the VERU stock, which I'll give you credit once more on because I ended up catching a few cents on that one. That was a nice trade. I'm sure we'll find that on the gainer side here at some point. I'm kind of trying to find it here. All right, let's see what we have here in the meantime in the middle here. Yeah, CBay up 19+%. That's a familiar name for me, so just wanted to look at it pretty quick. It's pretty flat. It's like very slow moving, so pass on it for right now. The HUSA was moving up pretty nicely. That's an energy stock. ENSV is another one. So, those two could move similarly to one another. ENSV is up like 18+%. Spotty chart, though. I mean, it's near the highs. Don't get me wrong. Stock's near the high of the day, but little inactive. Not as much volume on this as the, HUSA stock, at least. SIOX, it's a cheapie. I didn't really even mean to click on this, so we'll kind of skip over it here. CRDF, not a whole lot happening here on the gainer side. Otherwise, we'll definitely check in with the side list stocks like the airlines, cruise lines, my NEO, AMC. I saw up a little bit earlier. So GameStop popping a little bit in the beginning of the afternoon. So there's definitely a lot more to sift through here, folks. Quadruple U. This one trading about 6 million shares, up 13%. Whoa. Look at this pop right now. That caught me off guard. The only reason I clicked on this is well, a couple reasons. I'm familiar with the ticker. It's up enough, good price, and it was trading like 6 million shares. So, that's not too little. That's not too much. That's like kind of middle of the road. This looks really good. Now, I want to check in also with the chat board. Michael's been trying to get my attention on the CCJ stock here, just calling the pop. Yeah, I mean, they have to be, all of their uranium stocks, right? UEC. Yep. Just all of the uranium stocks collectively. Been here long enough, I guess, when you know it by heart right away. So, quadruple U, and then that makes sense because I knew for a fact that CCJ that Michael was calling out inside the trading room, that's a uranium stock, UEC. Let me just check Benzinga Pro briefly here, folks. I don't want to take too much time and go through news here, but obviously I'm pretty interested in seeing what happens here. It's obviously a whole sector-based move. I got nothing so far. I'm just doing a really brief check, and then I'll check back in with the trading room. All right, so here we go. I got it. Looks like shares of uranium companies trading higher following a report the U.S. is seeking $4.3 billion to buy enriched uranium from domestic sources. So that headline came out exactly at 2:30 Eastern time, and with that, like all these are making a big push. So again, CCJ, quadruple U. That's U. All about you. And then the UEC stock. Those three in particular are autos right away. Those will go on our list. All right, so that's a nice development there. URA also from Wendy. Let's take a look. If it's not trading enough volume or if it's expensive, it might be an issue. It looks all right. It's up 4%. It's another one. Keep on the side. The others I think are making a bigger push percentage-wise, if I'm not mistaken. The UEC up near 8%. This one, that's not uranium. So 10%. So you want to focus on the ones that are the most active, right? It's not a bad call from Wendy. Just you want to make sure that you could focus on the most active ones, if anything. The ones trading the most amount of volume, the ones that are up or down the most, namely. Now, really quick, I'm going to just jump over to the loser side here in a moment, just as I'm still looking at the chat board here in the trading room. Alex calling out the SIGA stock on the way up to 12, and yeah, it's a pretty good call, right? I mean, we've been following SIGA for the last 2 weeks on and off. It's up 12.5%. It's a stock we're familiar with, like I just mentioned, and it's on the way up to the highs and a major resistance. So, you know what? This one I'll put on our list. Let me just check out the Viru again. That was Brian's call out from earlier this morning. Ended up making a really nice run from the morning. It's up 17+% right now. If it could snap over 16, I think that we have a great trade on our hands, but it looks a little weak compared to the others. So, in the name of kind of trying to be conservative in the sense of being picky and, trying to not produce as big of a watch list, I'll skip over this for right now, but this would obviously be a good stock should it break over 16 here. All right, I'll tell you what, Rich is out sick today, and normally when he's in, he's sharing the screen. My platform's a hot mess right now. I got to reorganize this here at the end of the meeting, but let's go through the loser side here next. Let's see what we have on this side of the field. We got a bunch that's hard to borrow, so basically, not to sound lazy, skip over them for right now. Unless if there is one of them that you can short personally and you want me to look at, let me know. But I mean, I'll tell you, markets are moving up where they were just before, so I'm not expecting a whole lot to be on the loser side here anyway. Geez, and there's not a whole lot that is easy to borrow to begin with. I guess I'll check out PTRA, $6 stock. Kind of near the lows, down near 10%, but it's just really flat for right now, so pass. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5% that you'd want me to look at or check out here just before we finish up. A couple of comments on YouTube that I'll jump to first from Lionel. Which is the best time to follow you? So that's a great question, Lionel, and I appreciate you joining us. Normally Fausto will do our morning meeting. Fausto is the president and founder of our company, Cyber Trading University. He'll do our morning broadcast at 9 a.m. Eastern time. So, you can catch him every weekday, on our, morning broadcast on YouTube. Otherwise, I'm here every day at 2:30. But if you wanted to join us live inside our trading room, we continue the audio commentary live between Fausto, myself, another instructor of ours, Rich. Just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below that you see right there on YouTube, and you can sign up. For Mark, he's asking, may I ask, are there other order books other than NASDAQ? Another great question. I've had a lot of issues with NASDAQ. So NASDAQ's the most liquid of the ECNs. There are plenty of other order books, though, between the Archipelago book, between Bats Batty, Direct Edge, EdgeX. There's several different ones that you could look to get data from. If you have a platform or broker that offers the data, great. Otherwise, you can look to get level 4. You could join us live inside our trading room to learn more about that. But yes, there's other order books or ECNs collectively aside from NASDAQ. All right. So any other call outs, folks? Stocks up, down, left, right, more than 5%. That AERC slumping back down for right now. I'm not fully sold on the drop down to 1025 just yet, but I would love to see it make that move. If it could end up snapping back above resistance, roughly off of 1175, then I could be pretty interested in a slingshot. But Steve says Jan is slumping, dumping back down, slumping off. Yeah, this thing looks relatively finished up, unfortunately, now at this point, for as much as it popped back from pre-market even, then just now. That could be easy to say looking at this intraday after this already dropped off. But what do we say here? History has a tendency to repeat itself. Just look at the daily chart here from like last week, and then also go back a little bit more. You can see that. All right. So Mark says AUVI. AUVI is already on our list. Nice pop. So I think that, we should stick with what we have here for right now, folks. I like what we have here so far. All right. So for all of us on Facebook, or I should say for all of us on YouTube today, YouTube only. Yeah, YouTube only today. Bobby, I got to write back to you. Bobby, I'm going to write back to you on YouTube right now, one of our longtime students. I apologize, Bobby. I'm going to get back to your email later on today, just so you know. But for all of us, aside from Bobby, because I'll be writing back to him anyway, but if you wanted to send over any other questions, thoughts, comments, suggestions, feel more than free to do so. Josh at c2trading.com. Bob, you'll get you back inside our trading room. But if you wanted to join us otherwise, for all of us, just go right down to the link on the banner below. All right, so for Grant, Mark, Steve, Wendy, Alex, Michael, I'm going to post the list. Rich is out today. I'm on a coaching call at 3 o'clock. No audio in the trading room from 3 to 3:30 today only, or I think today only. I think Rich should be back tomorrow. We'll see. But just so you know, wanted to make sure that was known beforehand. No audio today only from 3 to 3:30. I will be back on right at 3:30 though to wrap things up for us. All right, folks. I'll talk to you soon.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.